Hi guys, today I'm gonna do something I'm kind of scared to do. I'm gonna do the 24-hour reading challenge. I'm not gonna do the whole 24 hours at once. I'm gonna split it up into 2 brackets of 12 hours. It's actually after 1 o'clock. I was not planning on doing this today, but here we are. My plan is to set a 12-hour timer once I finish this intro and then see where the next 12 hours takes me. I don't think I'm that fast of a reader. The only thing I have to compare to is my best friend and I read the same book together last month. She was way faster than I was. And then also when you're on Kindle and it's like, this book will take 9 hours. I never finished the book as quickly as it says. So I don't think I'm that fast of a reader, but we will be putting that to the actual test today. So for reads, I have been into Kindle Unlimited. I just got Kindle Unlimited once again about 2 weeks ago. So I've been really into that. I do not have a Kindle. I read Kindle Unlimited on my iPad. So have my trusty iPad here. Currently reading Older by Jennifer Hartman. I am on page 128 of that, and there is 428 pages, so I have exactly 300 pages left of this book. So this is what I'm currently reading now. I am officially starting my timer. I love how it's gonna end at 1:28 in the morning. Please. Okay, excuse my appearance. My hair is just not done, and I really wasn't gonna do this video, and then I said, no, I'm not gonna let the hair ruin it for me. For the timer, we're at a little under 10 hours, and I checked to see how many pages I read, and it's bad. I'm on 176, which means I've only read approximately 50 pages in 2 hours. That's so bad. Like, am I even reading? I think I'm gonna take me a little break. I was talking to my mom on the phone, and I did watch like one YouTube video, and now I'm about to go to Dunkin' Donuts because I kind of want like a little sweet treat. There's a Dunkin' like 6 minutes away, so I think I'm gonna take me a 20-minute break to go to Dunkin', get my Dunkin' and come back. As far as pacing for the rest of the book, it says I have 6 hours and 23 minutes left to finish the book if I read at like, I guess the estimated pace that I've been reading at thus far. Secured my Dunkin'. They messed up my order, so give me way more donuts than I need to eat. Read some outside because I spend a lot of hours indoors. It is kind of warm. And I'm not a girl who likes to be hot, but I'm going to go outside because, you know, I could use some sun, so I'm gonna read out here. Okay, I'm back. It's been a couple of hours. It's 11 o'clock now. I finished reading Older by Jennifer Hartman, and I would give this book a 4 out of 5. I feel like she's gonna make me tear up regardless. This is the second book I read by her. I read Still Beating last year, and I sobbed while reading that book. That book had me tore up. I absolutely love that book so much. This one was also just as heavy. The FMC had to deal with like an abusive household. Her father would beat her. Her mother was an alcoholic, and the love interest was her best friend's father. So we had like that forbidden love story. And while that is like a cliche, like the story itself is kind of not cliche, but more maybe like a simple, like the whole, you know, dad's best friend. Like it's a simple story, but I feel like the way she wrote it was just so good. Like, I literally got teary-eyed twice. No tears were shed, but I did get teary-eyed twice. But anyway, I finished reading that. Absolutely loved it. It was a great time. But I wasn't reading the whole time. I did take a little trip to Dunkin'. That was 20 minutes. I did like shower and stuff. That was another 20 minutes. I did cook 2 meals today, so that was maybe another 20 minutes. So I probably didn't read for about an hour combined today. And I'm not really in the mood to read right now, I'm not gonna lie. Now that I finished this book, I'm like, let's watch TV. But I have 2.5 hours left, and so I need to utilize my 2.5 hours. So I think I might take like a 10-minute break and then get back into reading. Part of me wants to read a thriller book, but I'm a scary girl, so I don't usually start thrillers at nighttime unless they're like Freedom McFadden, because I know they're not gonna be that scary. I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna read and then start reading in about like 10 minutes. Okay, so I know you just saw me start a book. Yeah, I'm not reading that book. I just don't want to read right now. And so I feel like whenever I fall into a reading slump, I feel like the go-to is mafia romance. So I'm changing my book and I'm gonna try to read mafia romance. I was just on TikTok trying to figure out what kind of mafia book to read. I decided to try Sinners Condemned. I was getting a lot of recommendations for series that I either don't want to start right now, or I've read book 1 and I wasn't that big of a fan, therefore I don't want to read book 2. But oddly enough, I've read Sinners Anonymous. I think that's book 1 in the series. Book 2, Sinners Condemned, is what I'm gonna try to read now. Book 1, I gave it, back when I used to do my scales out of 10, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. So I didn't hate it, didn't love it. So we're gonna see how I feel about book 2. So now we're officially gonna start book 2. I'm exhausted. You would have thought I put in a 12-hour shift yesterday. The way I woke up today, so tired. I don't know why. And the last thing I want to do is read for another 12 hours, but that's what we're here to do today. So I did not get that far. I wanted to read at least 100 pages of my new book yesterday, but I got to page 36, so not quite 100. I'm on chapter 4, Curly Reader Sinners Condemned. Just in case you forgot. I was supposed to start this earlier, like I got up earlier today specifically to start this video earlier, and somehow time got away from me. So it's almost 1 p.m. yet again. So I might be finishing around the same time as I did yesterday. I will say this book has been interesting thus far. Raphael Visconti. He's honestly hilarious. Like so far I've been giggling. It could have been delirium from reading for 10, 11 hours, 12 hours, but he actually does seem funny. And Penny seems like a great FMC, so I think I will enjoy this book. I'm gonna continue to read because there's nothing else I have to say. Yeah, I did not think this challenge was gonna be that bad of a struggle for me, and honestly I might be speaking too soon because I'm halfway through and I'm already over it. It's a challenge for reading. Challenges are not supposed to be easy, so yeah. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get in and have some tea. It's been 3 minutes and I just realized I forgot to start the timer. Once again, 12 hours on the clock. This time it says we'll end at 12:53 a.m. So, you know, a little better than yesterday. Actually starting now. And yes, I did sit here for those 3 minutes and do nothing, and then I remembered I didn't start the timer. So here we go. A little less than half of the time left, and I have a little over 100 pages left. I'm on chapter 20. It says I'm 65% into the story. I am slowly but surely chugging along. I am dedicated to finishing this challenge, but I have been struggling to keep my attention on the story. So I've been reading even slower than my already slow pace. I will say the book is really entertaining. This is enemies to lovers, which I don't love enemies to lover trope, but I do love Raphael Visconti, and I also love Penelope, can't remember her last name, but I do love the two characters, so it is helping with me not wanting to read, but I'm still like reading so slow, so I'm trying. Hopefully next check-in will be when I am finished. I did it. I completed Sinners Condemned. We have 2 books down. I feel very proud of myself. It was a bit of a struggle for me to get through that book. I think it took way longer for me to read than it would normally. My attention span was so bad today. I was reading so slow. I had to reread paragraphs over because my mind was wandering, but I completed it. I thoroughly enjoyed Sinners Condemned. I enjoyed it way more than Sinners Anonymous. I believe I gave Sinners Anonymous. I talk so fast, my words start to jumble. I gave that book a 3-star on Goodreads, and this one I would give a 4-star. I enjoy this one way more. I love this story. The banter, the chemistry, the slow burn of it all. Oh my gosh. Like, I literally need to read book 2 in that series. I loved Penny and Raphael together. I loved them individually. The book was funny. more than just Raphael was funny. I know earlier I said he was funny, but I feel like there are so many characters. I mean, the author is just good at writing because there are several characters that were funny. I need to read book 2 of their story. I believe it's a 5-book series, but Sinners Condemned and book 3, I don't know what it's called, is a duology within a completed series, I think. I could have just misspoke. I'm super excited to read that second book. I will not be reading it right now because I just want to read that with a fresh mind, but it definitely is a series that right now I will continue. Honestly, if you read Sinners Anonymous and you didn't enjoy it as much, I'd recommend reading Sinners Condemned because I loved it way more. Unfortunately, I still have time left on my timer. I probably finished this book when I had like an hour, 10 minutes left on my timer. So now I'm down to 57 minutes. There was 2 books that I did DNF earlier this month. So I'm thinking about maybe just continuing those instead of starting a new book. I started That Sick Love, got to around 54%. And then I summoned a demon boyfriend and got to around 44% of that book. I think I'm going to pick one of those and then just, you know, read as much as I can for the next hour. It's been a few days and I just want to talk about the conclusion of the 24-hour challenge. I struggled way more than I thought I was going to. I read 613 pages. I Googled it because I wanted to make myself feel better, and it did say it can take around 24 hours to read 600 pages. Another website said 18 hours. So I don't know. I felt like I was reading super slow, but the point is I completed it. I enjoyed both books I read. I will say Older is a really good romance. It's very heavy. There's a big age gap in Older, hence the title. So I would beware if you're a little uneasy about that kind of thing, because when I saw how old she was and how old he was, I was like, oh my gosh, I stopped reading this book. But I really like, I don't know why I was just dancing, but I really like Jennifer Hartman's books, so I pushed through and I did enjoy the story in the end. And then Sinners Condemned, forgot the other book for a second. Sinners Condemned, really enjoyed that one. That was part 1 of a basically 2-book story, and I will be reading book 2, just not right now because I don't want to. All in all, I'm glad I did this. I was able to challenge myself, and maybe I will do 24 hours straight. That's it for this video. Thank you so much if you made it all the way through. Please subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll be back with another video. Because what else would I be back with?